Hello and big welcome to cEDH TV gameplay. This time me and Pontus is joined by Michael and Def.
Hello, all the way here from behind the veil with some pedal to the metal cEDH. Thank you for having me. Witness the end, my Noctis Prince of Darkness Turbo Adnos cEDH. You heard it right, we're turbo nosing in Esper. Again, because why not? We can. Basically, we're still doing the typical Noctis plan. We have all the ways to recur our Etherflux Reservoir and just cast 0 mana spells. We even have a Solemnity, so we never get that lovely finality counter on our artifact.
Today, I'm back with an old classic, Tymna Dargo. I've been playing Final Fantasy Commanders for like 6 weeks, I think, 7, or Weird Commanders, so I'm back to my baby, back to Mario Turbo. Deadpool is a new addition since last time, I think. Goes infinite with Technomancer and wins the game. Still the same deck though.
Me, I'm playing the Wandering Minstreal, or Minstrel, whatever. It's a land deck. Now, the land count here is 52, rather high, but we're trying to do land loops by looping Splendid Reclamation, Aftermath Analyst, or Lumra. I did throw in the Gitrog monster here. I don't think he perfectly fits, but this feels like a good 5-color Gitrog monster deck in the end, so we're gonna try it. I don't think that this is a perfect constructed deck yet, but I have some true feeling that the Wandering Minstrel could actually be kinda decent. Otherwise, we also have a ad nauseum because lands have a CMC of 0, so you can dig quite deep with the ad nos, potentially finding my mana bond. It was always there, and this thing was never there.
So I'm going to an old classic as well. I'm going for TNT, Tymna Thrasios. That's a circle, the Hazel Brewmaster, really the green, blue, black, white, good stuff. Just grindy and get some value, and let's see how it goes. A Gemstone Cavern is usually good. First 7, we're going to look for something else. The second 7 is not that good. We don't have any lands. We have the Caverns of Sol again, a Snapcaster Mage, and we have this Rhythm.
So this hand is lots of lands and 1 mana or land drop accelerator. Sky Shroud Ranger can tap to put a land into play, and then we have Amulet of Vigor and 5 lands. In the end, this is a little bit too weak. I like the Sky Shroud Ranger. If we had like an Adnos in our hand, this would be a pretty fast, it would be a turn 3 Adnos. Only this, together with Amulet of Vigor to speed it up too. In the end, I'm actually gonna mulligan because I don't think Sky Shroud Ranger is enough. We can do a little bit stronger than this. So going to second 7. And instead we find Burgeoning and the Wandering. We only have 3 lands. If we top deck any land on first or second that comes into play untapped, then we have the Wandering turn 2. I'm going to gamble on that 100%. The chance with 52 lands in the deck is pretty good. So yeah, we're keeping this. This feels like a very, like, if we are unlucky and don't draw a second land, or a 4th land in this case, then at least it will be a turn 3 the Wandering with the Bird of Paradise, so it's still fine.
First 7, pretty bad at best. It's like you're gonna abolish your turn 1, and then turn 2, we just don't have anything to do, so let's just mulligan instead. Second 7 is a bit awkward. We have some good cards, but Breath of Flame is pretty great. Infernal Plunge isn't really a starting hand card, but like we don't really have any mana, we don't have any red mana to get anywhere, so let's go to 6. This hand, we always keep, I think. If we draw a mana-producing land on turn 1, this is a turn 1 loss. If it isn't, it's a turn 1 Esper Sentinel, hopefully drawing artifacts and lands to activate the Mox Opal. And then we have the Monitor to sacrifice, but yeah, I'm keeping this hand, and if you draw a land, just send it.
I'll play a Polluted Delta. Correct that one, I will shortcut that for a Underground Sea, and I will just play this Mana Vault. And that's my turn.
My turn, draw a card. Kinda perfect. Flooded Strand, sacrifice it. For a Savannah, tap it for green. And I would like to cast a Burgeoning.
That's good.
And then I pass the turn.
I'll take my turn. Land turn is a Scalding Tarn, which I will fetch in response to Burgeoning trigger.
I will put this Triome land, Tiamer Triome land into play tapped.
Finding a plateau, tapping it to cast a Esper Sentinel.
Seems very good.
Then I'll cast a Lotus Petal. Then I'll cast a Mox Opal. I'll tap Mox Opal for a black. I'll crack Lotus Petal to cast a Dargo, sacrificing Esper Sentinel and Mox Opal.
Pontus Pontus, that's not how you use Esper Sentinels.
It is in this deck. I'd like to use my black floating to cast a sacrifice, sacrificing Dargo.
Pontus, that's not how you play your Dargo. You just sacrifice.
It
You're
is!
just sacrificing everything you have all over the place.
I don't have it. I pass, yeah.
Sacrifice resolves, I'll make 7 black mana. I'll use 2 of them to cast the Demonic Tutor. And then with my 5 black mana, I'll find and cast the Ad Nauseam. Just as the Death asked us to do. Nos on turn 1. You're welcome, Death. Nos resolves. Let's do some digging. Windswept Teeth, Pyroblast, Lotho, Wheel of Fortune, Gemstone Caverns, Talisman of Indulgence, City of Traitors, Underworld Breach, City of Brass, Dark Ritual, Blood Crypt, Sacred Foundry, Delny, Wishclaw Talisman, Flooded Strand, Bola Citadel, ouch, Mana Confluence, Enlightened Tutor, Arcane Signet, Vampiric Tutor, Godless Shrine, Grand Abolisher, Ancient Tomb, Mox Amber, close, Smothering Tithe, ouch. There's no haste on any commander. If we find Mox Amber or Chrome Mox, we just win. Simian Spirit Gate does not do it right now. Since there's no commander with haste, I'll be greedy and continue flipping. I really want to hit this turn 1 win. So we flip a Sol Ring. Okay, good start. Static Prison, the Wooded Foothills, Burning Catacombs, the Wheel of Misfortune, and there we sadly have to stop because I don't want to die. No turn 1 win for me. So since I'm tapped out, I have only 1 0 drop. I'll cast the Mox Amber and then I will move to cleanup, keeping this 7 and passing turn.
I get to draw a card. Let's go. And it's a bad card. So I will start with Meticulous Archive, Surveil, and Burgeoning Trigger.
I'm going to put in this land that enters tapped and taps for blue.
I will look at the top card of my library. Holy crap. I will keep this. I don't think it's very useful. Then I'll play this Chrome Mox, exile Soul Partition under it, then play my Soul Ring. I have 2 cards in hand. Good luck, have fun. Pass turn.
I'll play this Flooded Strand.
I will put an Ursa Saga into play.
Hazel. Target card from a graveyard. I will like to exile your Lotus Petal and then make a food token. And I will pass my turn.
After drawing a card, I'm going to 4 mana, the One Ring. I'm going to tap it to draw a card. Then we're going to do Arid Misa. Sacrifice that for a Taiga. I will tap it to cast a Bird of Paradise. I sadly did not draw into my Lightning Bolt. That would have been fun. Then I pass the turn.
Go to my turn, heavily nerfed by not having a Lotus Petal. Land for turn will be a City of Traitors. I'll tap it, Floating Colorless, to cast a Sol Ring. Tap Sol Ring for a Arcane Signet. Tap it for black, cast a Dark Ritual. Tap Plateau, use the Colorless Floating, cast a Breach. Escape a Demonic Tutor, exiling 3 lands. Demonic Tutor finds LED, I'll cast LED and crack it for 3 white, discarding my Ranger Captain, my Talisman, and my Grand Abolisher. I'll use 2 of the white to cast the Grand Abolisher. With Grand Abolisher in play, I will recast LED, crack it for 3 red, exiling 3 cards. I'll use the black and the white to flashback Demonic Tutor, finding Altar of Dementia. Cast it for 2 of my 3 floating red, and then use the last red to cast a Dargo, sacrificing my 2 artifacts. So from here, I can present a loop where I cast Dargo, sacrifice it to Altar of Dementia, mill myself for 7, cast Lionside Diamond, exiling 3 of those cards, crack it for 3 red, so I can mill myself for 21 for each 3 cards I exile. I can do this until I have the cards I need to go infinite in my deck, which is Spurgy or Relic of Legends. I cast one of those and then I can mill everyone infinitely and then close it off by wheeling or using Deadpool's draw effect to make every opponent's draw card and not me. And that way everyone dies. Good game. Long live Mardu Summer, but the games aren't long, so let's do a second one.
Come on, top deck. Draw. That's an interesting draw. I'll play Bloodstained Mire. I will crack it. I'll find my original Scrubland. Then I will cast this Chrome Mox. Under it, I will exile this Reanimate. Attempt to cast an Arcane Signet. I will pass with this on the stage.
Draw a card! It's not what we needed. Let's play a Shifting Woodland. Pass.
Start off by casting the Caverns of Souls, naming human. Soaring. Past my turn.
Take my turn. Surfer 7 was completely busted. We have a turn 1 win here. Just like Great Furnace, really showing off the power here because it turns on Mox Opal, and then we have Chrome Mox, Mox Opal, we have red black, we float a white or red for Welder, I think. If we go turn 1, float a red, then we have Dargo, Burnt Offering, Breach, Altars Mancha, just win the game. So what I've been considering is if I'm supposed to slow roll this hand. The Goblin Welder does change how I think about the hand, but it also does nothing to change the hand. What I can do is either exile it to Chromox, which is perfectly good. That way I can have 3 mana, cast Voice of Victory past the turn, and then have a win next turn, unless Voice of Victory is removed. I can also just cast the Goblin Welder off the Great Furnace, and then it looks like Goblin Welder was the game plan I kept. The problem with that would be that I don't actually have the mana for Voice of Victory plus win, unless I draw an additional mana source, be that a land, be that like any mana source. But I will play it safe as I am last and just cast the Voice of Victory, I think. Land for turn will be a Great Furnace. I'll cast a Chrome Mox, imprinting a Goblin Welder. I will cast a Mox Opal, and then I will tap 2 to cast a Voice of Victory.
I will cast an Entomb.
Yes, I will cast a Mindbreaker Strap. I will exile the Voice of Victory and Entomb.
That's funny. I have no response.
I'm happy about this. He had the Mindbreak Trap finally.
And then I pass turn.
You made it just a bit juicier with Entomb.
I had to do it because if I pass priority, I don't get another priority unless you cast. Draw for turn, play Swamp, and we'll quote a famous YouTube channel here by saying, "My plans have changed." So I'll just pass turn.
Come on, deck, give me a land. So, I was gambling tiny bit on this hand, because I only need to draw like 1 more land or maybe 2 lands, or actually in this case just maybe 1 land, and we will be fine. The problem is that we didn't draw a single one. We're going to play Emergency Zone. The odds are in my favor. I have 51 lands in the deck. There's no Dockside anymore, so we're still gonna cast Exploration. Then we pass. We're not gonna make any extra land drops here. Nothing cool is happening in 5-color land town.
I'll go to my turn, found a land, so I will play that.
I wish. No, it's just an Archivist of Logma.
I will find not a Badlands, how to call it, the other one, Underground CF.
I will gain a life and draw a card.
And then I will exile Summon Spirit Guide, and I will cast my Thrasios. And I will Pasios.
Go to my turn. I think this is funny. It's even funnier if it doesn't work. So let's do it. I will be floating 1 red and 1 black mana. Then I'll tap for red to cast a Dargo, sacrificing my whole board. Dargo resolves. I'll use the black mana to cast a Burnt Offering, sacrificing Dargo.
I'm passing.
I will pay 2 life, and I will Mental Misstep. Haha!
Ouchie, it's misstep. But I will use my 1 mana to cast a Dragon's Rage Channeler. Beat that, dude. Pass turn.
I fixed it for you guys, no problem.
I will draw a card. I will play a fetch land, my Verdant Catacomb, and attempt to fetch, going down to 39 again. Underground Sea. Once that is fine, I will tap for a black and a black to cast a Cabal Ritual, giving me 3 black mana. Then I will do a main phase ad nauseum.
Not you too.
Committing suicide for me?
Yeah, I'm casting Pact of Negation.
Sure. One less player to care about. Sure, you pacted it.
Yeah, sure.
I will still attack Pontus.
No block stake too.
I really hoped you had a counter spell there. Swell death.
No, I didn't.
I might should have not done this, but yeah, it's fine.
Hey Mons, you might have a turn.
Draw a card. Land! I'm gonna play a Boseiju. I'm gonna play it's a land drop. For 3 mana, I'm gonna cast a Tireless Provisioner. This is a landfall. I make treasures when lands come into play. That's pretty good. Then I pass.
Untap, upkeep, cast a Born Upon a Wind. I'll die then.
Go to my turn.
Wait, Pontus, you're still in the game? Can you,
Yeah,
can you like
I'm
concede?
a Dragon's Rage Channeler.
I wanna have a
Why-
1v1 versus death right now.
No, you have a 1v1 with the 1/1.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, sure. Go for it.
Yeah, attack that for 1.
Take down to 38.
I pass.
1, 2, 3, and 4. All I'll do is cast my commander Noctis and blocks a 1/1 with lifelink, and attack Pontus for 2.
I take 2.
Mons, show us all your lands. I pass turn.
I will draw a card. Oh! Lands! There are lands everywhere in this game. There's lands plenty. Command Tower. Why was I ever doubting? I will make a treasure with my Tireless Provisioner. You know, cEDH is so strange. These Adnos builds, they don't work. Casual lands, that's what we want to have. 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. So I'm gonna play the cEDH All-Star, or that everyone knows about. Actually, when I think about it, there's a chance that only casual player knows what this thing does. So it allows me to play 1 more land, and I can look at the top card of my library. So, oh, would you look at that? The top card of my library is a land. So let's play that. This is a Eden Seat of Sanctum. I can mill 2 cards and who cares. Then the next card of my library is a Sky Shroud Ranger. It's a green 1/1 that can tap to put the land into play. Now from the land drop we just got, we got a secondary treasure. So we'll sacrifice both treasures and I will cast my cool commander. Then I'm gonna attack Pontus for 3 damage because I can.
No blocks. Take 3.
Pass.
Take my turn. Ooh, now 1/1 and a land, but it's Gemstone Caverns. But I no longer have any good attacks, so I will just pass.
Draw for turn. Attack Pontus for 6.
I'm literally just here existing, but yeah, I'll take 6.
Yes, I gain 4 life. Second main, now we're gonna cook. I'm gonna start by casting a Brainstorm. This card back, and play this Grinding Station. ETB, I will, to its own trigger, sacrifice my Chrome Mox to mill myself for free. Talisman of Progress, an Unearth, and a Misty Rainfall. And it untaps. I will do it again, sacrificing my Arcane Signet to mill free card. LED, Windswept Heath, the land. Cast Mox Amber, trigger my, when it resolves, trigger my Grinding Station to untap it. Tap it for mana, sacrifice it to my Grinding Station. Well, finding all these lands mons, then I will pay 3 life to recast my Mox Amber. It comes in with a finality counter, and then I will sack it to my Grinding Station, exiling it, but I'll still mill my free card. The Mox Diamond, and there's a mana vault. I have 2 mana floating. I'll pay 3 life and one of those manas to play the mana vault. So now I have only 1 floating, but I'll tap it for 3 colorless. Still has the finality counter, so I will sacrifice it. So I have now total of basically access to 5 mana.
I have a response. Wait, don't mill yet. Is Aetherflux Reservoir in your graveyard?
No, unfortunately not. Otherwise, I would have already cast it.
Yeah, obviously. I don't think that my Deflecting Swat has much targets, because once you mill Aetherflux Reservoir, you cast Aetherflux Reservoir, then you gain infinite life, and even if you shoot me for 50, I Deflecting Swat that, you still win because you still have more life, so you shoot me again. So I think my only chance right now is try to make your milling unsuccessful, so I'm gonna change the target of your Grinding Station towards me. So I will be milling creature, stuff, exploration, and the top card of my library is an Suran Orb.
I still have a lot of mana floating, so let's start with the more expensive ones. I'll pay 3 life for a Talisman of Progress and 2 colorless mana, leaving me with 1 colorless mana, and I will tap it for a colorless, sack it, because Grinding Station untap, sack it to mill 3 cards again. Wishclaw. We found the Wishclaw. Means I can use the colorless and the black floating. Basically with Wishclaw, I can activate it. I can even sack it, doesn't matter. Find Aetherflux. Then from my graveyard for 3 life cast this LED, which will give me additional mana, will give me exactly the 4 mana I need to cast Aetherflux. And I already have a Mox Diamond in my graveyard, which will then I'll be able to cast. Then will discard the land, gaining life instead of losing life thanks to the Aetherflux. And once I have enough life, Death Star levels of life, I will shoot Pontus for 50, and then I'll shoot Mods for 50. And then if you have any responses, I will do it again. GG's everyone. Before I say anything, I was planning to save my Entomb. So my plan was turn 2 commander and save the Entomb on my next turn. But once Pontus started saying the Voice of Victory, I was like, I have to cast it now because I wanted to save it for a while in case of grave hate, because I know you all have some grave interaction. I wanted to make sure that I can, safely put it there. But then I just, tried for the Admirals, and then I started the Grinding Station to just...
First, congrats to Pontus and congrats to Dev with their amazing victories. But yeah, I think, in my opinion, why I cast that pact, just I thought he had 1 card on hand, and if that was like any interaction, he should have used it. But it was not. It was a bit of a greedy play for me, because I also could have just waited out, do some Thrasios stuff. That's why I casted my pact.
You could look at it like this too, that if pact would have resolved, you'd have died anyway. And if Death would have had an interaction, your pact would have been countered, and maybe Death would have passed turn.
I'm just amazed. I haven't played this deck in a while, and I'm very happy to be back on it and just drawing turn 1 wins 2 games in a row. Or well, I guess the NOS wasn't a win, but like turn 1 NOS is basically a win. It just didn't happen this time. And the second game I had a turn 1, but I went safe. Technically, there's like based on exactly Mindbreak Trap, I should have kept the Voice of Victory for turn 2 and hoped to draw Mana Source. But I think I always do that or jam or maybe cast a Welder. But I think Welder basically never contributes to the game plan. But I don't know, pretty solid games.
That's it for us this time. Some pretty fast games in the end. Hope you enjoyed the battles. See you next time, guys.
Thanks for having me, and check out Veil of Death on YouTube. Bye.
Link in the description below of the video.